Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pierce Field in Arlington. Classic matchup of Middlesex League rivals, the Woburn Tanners against the Arlington Spy Ponders. Beautiful day here, about 80 degrees and sunny. Arlington comes into the match unbeaten, 4-0-1 this year so far. Woburn with a record of 2-3-1. They've had some very tough matches already this season. The Woburn Tanners have. They played Winchester, Wilmington, and Burlington and lost those 3 games. They've got 2 wins and a tie. They've played 6 games. Arlington again at 4-0-1. Arlington with the kickoff, the 2 senior strikers, Mackenzie Sheriff and Anna Kohlberg up top for Arlington. In the midfield, on the right is the freshman Carolyn Days. Next to her is another freshman, number 25, Sophie Morris. To her left is Jenny Lucci, number 21, a senior midfielder. And on the other far left is the superstar junior Abigail Ewan. We'll talk more about her as the game progresses. In the backfield for Arlington, on the left it's Linnea McAllister, a junior. In the middle is the 4-year starter senior captain Elizabeth Horgan. And to her right is the freshman Amelia Manstadt, the younger sister of Ansell Manstadt with the ball, who plays a beautiful ball into Mackenzie Sheriff, but it's called out offsides. And a tough call early in the game. It looked like Sheriff to me anyway, held the line. But the call is the call, and so it's going to be a direct kick for Woburn. We will introduce some of the Woburn players shortly. In net for Woburn, starting, is Kelsey Quayle. She's filling in. She's a junior, filling in for the senior goalkeeper, Olivia Carboni, who is concussed and out of the game with a concussion. Here's a run by, here's a run and a shot. Shot it wide. Breakaway there for Woburn. Can't really quite see who that is. I'm delighted to be here in the box today, accompanied by James Milan from Arlington Community Media Inc., our cable TV station. James, we're going to be trying to get him some headphones shortly so that he can provide some color commentary. He is a soccer aficionado, and he will be providing some details on the game shortly. Here's Mackenzie Sheriff hunting the ball down. It's knocked out of bounds by Woburn's number 17, the sophomore defender, Allison Moguaro. Nice play by Moguaro. There's a big throw in by number 16, the freshman, Amelia Manstadt. Lucci is over there to try to get it. She can't win it, and it's a Woburn ball. They play it in deep to a striker, number 6, Erica Gagny. Gagny can't collect it, but Woburn takes possession of the ball, and it's going to be a Woburn throw-in taken by number 4, the defender, Casey Danzio. Casey is a senior captain. She tries to throw it in, defended by the freshman Manstadt, and Woburn retains possession. A beautiful afternoon. Starting in goal for Arlington is the senior captain, Amelia Brush. She's had a very, very good season so far, including an assist, rare assist early in the season. And here comes Brush with the sticky fingers. The free kicks from the goal box are usually taken by number 16, Amelia Manstadt, the freshman. Interesting thing about the Arlington team is Coach Austin has the beautiful luxury of starting several real tough freshmen this year, and so the future looks very bright for him. There's Carolyn Days on the right, who shoots it into Anna Kohlberg. Kohlberg wins it back, but it goes to Woburn, and Woburn has a nice little square ball, and it goes out on number 21, Lucci, and it's going to be Woburn in possession. So as I was saying, Austin has a bright future with this team. He's got 3 starting freshmen right now, 2 on the midfield, Carolyn Days and Sophie Morris on the right-hand side of the midfield, and then the right back is Amelia Manstadt, who is also a freshman. Woburn with some nice possession in the middle, taken away by Morris, but the first touch of a blacksmith, and it rolls over to the Woburn Tanners, who try to shoot it in again to this nifty little striker, Erica Gagny. Looks like she's got some wheels, but it looks like we have an offside call. So, James, we are now almost 4 minutes into the game. What are you seeing, if anything, so far?
Looks like Arlington keeps applying some high pressure, which I think is always effective if you can maintain it in terms of the physical rigor of that kind of approach. But it should mean, if they are able to keep going, that they will be able to recapture the ball in the midfield, which is always the preferred thing, obviously.
Agreed. So here's number 5, Elizabeth Horgan, playing defense, and it looks like she won the ball. And so it's going to be a goal kick for Arlington. Again, it's taken by number 16. Here's the first substitution. Interesting. Another freshman comes in, number 12, Maggie Crimmins, replacing Linnea McAllister, the junior. Crimmins is another freshman. So Austin right now goes with 4 freshmen. There's a beautiful ball in. Kohlberg to Sheriff. Can Sheriff run it down? And a beautiful goaltending play by Olivia Carboni. No, Olivia's out. This is the backup goalie, Kelsey Quayle, with a very nice instinct to come out of the box and shut off that through ball that was sent in by Kohlberg to Sheriff.
Yeah, judging from that ball there, Ken, as well as an earlier one, it looks like Arlington might have some success as well with putting the ball over the top to the strikers who are strong on the ball and strong runners as well.
Yeah, Austin strikers are both seniors. They've been playing together since 3rd grade on the same youth team, and now they're seniors together. They also play on a futsal team together, and so they know where each other are, and they both have some jets. And so I agree with you, James, that we might see some activity from them if they can shoot a few balls through. And here's a freshman, Sophie Morris, with the head up. What does she see? She tries to shoot one through to Sheriff. Lucy wins the first ball, and here's the second ball from Manstad, and there goes Days and Sheriff on the hunt. Look at Mackenzie Sheriff fly. Look at that, and Sheriff wins the corner kick for Arlington. It should be a corner. It's a throw?
Yeah.
Okay. Carolyn Days, the freshman, takes the throw. She throws it into Manstad, who can turn on a dime. Manstad throws it over to Morris. Morris looks to maybe dummy it, and it rolls across to number 9, Abigail Ewan. Ewan gets some help in the backfield from Crimmins. Crimmins with the one touch on the head up beautifully back into Morris, but she's not there to collect it. Elizabeth Horgan with a season play lets it run out of bounds, and it's going to be an Arlington throw. And Arlington substitution, Maggie Crimmins for Linnea McAllister. Looks like the strikers maybe a little bit low to get into that one, a little bit late. Days goes back on the hunt, and she's in a foot race, and she kicks it out, and it's going to be a Woburn throw. So the Tanners are certainly here to play, James. I mean, they're keeping the pace so far.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they must have had a few tough games among their first 6 because their record is not nearly as impressive as they've been so far. I would say the chances have been even, the play has been relatively even as well. It looks like the game is up for grabs at this point.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. And your point is well taken. As I did point out, the Middlesex League is a tough league this year, and 2 of the 3 best teams in the league, Woburn has already played, Wilmington and Winchester, and those are 2 of their 3 defeats. Most people consider the Burlington defeat that they suffered an upset. There's a corner into the box, dangerous situation, but it rolls over the net. So I think that was the first corner kick of the match, yes?
I believe so, yes.
The most dangerous play in soccer, and there was a chance for Burlington, but no dice. There's a first ball for Woburn. There's a first ball by Woburn, and Woburn girls are hungry. Here's Manstad tries to shoot a long ball into Lucy, played beautifully again by number 17, the defender, Allison Maguaro. So Maguaro's got, here's another chance for Winchester. But Brush, another chance for Woburn, but Amelia Brush with a save. And so the Woburn girls are here to play. No question about that. Brush sends one over the 50 into Kohlberg. Kohlberg tries to head it. It's blocked by a Woburn defender. Manstad tries to chip it in softly to Sheriff, but it rolls a little too far. And Casey Quayle, the junior goalkeeper, is also playing quite nicely. This Crimmins tries to shoot it over to Morris. Morris collects it, tries to play it back to Lucy. She can't. Morris on the hunt, and she does win that. And here goes Sheriff with a squiggle. Ooh, and it's a dangerous playback. Kohlberg on the hunt. Kohlberg tries to take it in. it's going to be Arlington ball. Kohlberg with a throw-in into Manstad. Manstad, a senior, takes it deep into the corner and wins a corner kick for Arlington. Here we go, James. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah. And Ken, I think you're right to have called out Woburn central defender, number 17, McGuire.
McGuire, yeah,
I
17.
She has been just rock solid back there so far.
Only a sophomore, too, for Coach Mike Higgins. So he'll
towering over many of the other girls out there. On cue, she heads the ball out to the box.
Crimmins gets there, and Ewan tries to send it in and does, but that's no problem for Kelsey Quayle. First shot on net, I believe, for Arlington.
And we are 15 minutes in. So.
And a beautiful first ball by Manstad. Second ball by Kohlberg, and here goes Manstad. What does she see? She sees Ewan, and she softly plays it into her, but Ewan can't get there. Nice looking play there by the senior captain midfielder, Vincent Manstad. Here's a throw in for Kohlberg, plays it off the chest, then off the thigh, over to Manstad, reasonable option. Manstad, what does she see? She tries to shoot it into Ewan, and the ball rolls out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick. Woburn substitutions, the first two for Mike Higgins. Looks like he's going to provide some relief in the midfield. It looks like it's number 18, Julia Taylor, a sophomore. Okay, so now Arlington's starting to threaten a little bit. The ball is in the Woburn end, and Arlington has got its first shot on net, a weak one, but one nonetheless. Kohlberg sends it into Manstad. Manstad loses control. Crimmins steps up nicely and plays a nice short ball to Kohlberg, who plays high to Manstad, dumps it into the box, and there goes Sheriff and Days. Somebody's got to look at Mackenzie Sheriff go after that ball, and all she can do if you're Woburn is kick it away. Manstad on the defense. Look at number 16, Amelia Manstad, the freshman. And great defense by Manstad, but it's going to result in a Woburn corner kick. James, all season long, this number 16, Vincent Manstad has been, Amelia Manstad has been absolutely outstanding. Julia Taylor, sophomore. So the Woburn goal scored by number 18, Julia Taylor, off a corner kick.
Yeah, it looked like Julia Taylor got as I was saying, it looked like Julia Taylor got touched just inside the 6-yard box there that redirected the ball into the net. It looked like it was heading off net.
So Higgins' substitution pays off. He gets a nice quick goal from Taylor. And Woburn takes a 1-0 lead. Now I can tell you from years of experience with Coach Higgins that he does tend to sit on his leads. And I think, there's a nice play by Woburn. And I think that now Arlington, James, is really going to have to work for a goal for the equalizer. Higgins plays a very defensive style, and it looks like he's sticking with his 3-back right now, which is not typical. Usually, when Higgins gets a lead, he'll drop. He is dropping his 4-back. So he's got 4-back, isn't offsides, and the Tanners are really here to play today. So if you look at Higgins' formation, he's got 5 back right now, and this is essentially what he does. I know it looks like 4, but he's got number 3, his captain, Nicole Cronin, sort of playing a defensive holding midfielder, and then he's got 4 on the line. And Sheriff is going to have a difficult time getting through those 4. So what will happen here, and what needs to happen here for Arlington to prevail, is they need to come up with a way to get past these 4 Woburn defenders. And I can tell you right now that that you're not going to see these 4 defenders come across the 30 or the 40. This is what Higgins does. He packs it in. So the question for Austin is, how do you get past that iron curtain?
Right, and I know your own experience, rich and voluminous as it is, with Arlington and Coach Austin as well. What do you imagine he might do? Will there be a shift in formation for Arlington as well? Will they push more people forward?
Well, James, I'm just the broadcaster. I'm not the coach, and let me tell you. Let me say this.
Speculate.
Let me say this. Last year in the quarterfinal match of the state tournament, Woburn played the game to a scoreless draw against Arlington. We had a goal called back on an offsides controversial call. But what happened was, at the end of the game, the score was 0-0. And the reason why that was is because of Higgins' very defensive style. And the Arlington kids just could not find a way to get through that. And here they go. They're trying to shoot long balls through. But I guess to answer your question is, they're going to have to just build some possession in the middle, draw out those Woburn defenders, and then try to get a cross ball into the box.
Yeah. And I have to say that playing from behind may be a bigger challenge for the number of freshmen who are out on the field than it would be for more experienced players. It's difficult to maintain that balance between the patience that you need to have to get that position that you were talking about before, and then strike going all out with striking opportunities that will happen, which from what you've described and what I expect are going to be few. So Arlington is going to have to be in a position to take advantage of whatever opportunities there are.
Well put. We are now about 17 minutes into the game. Woburn with a 1-goal lead. And here comes a substitution. It is going to be sophomore Raina Conti for the senior Mackenzie Roy. Arlington substitution number 18, Raina Conti, replaces Mackenzie Roy. There's a first ball played nicely by Lucy over to Days. Days tries to shoot it into Conti. It's intercepted by the Woburn defender number 8, Cassie Palmisano. Arlington with some possession. Manstad shoots it into Kohlberg. Kohlberg with a little touchback to the younger Manstad. Manstad tries to play it into Conti. A dangerous ball, but Arlington cannot capitalize.
Saw a little bit there, Ken, of the midfield possession you were referring to before. I'll have to see if that they can build on that.
There's a nice first ball by Lucy. Second ball over to Morris. Morris back to Manstad. Manstad tries to shoot it into her sister, but can't. Here's Sophie Morris, a very patient freshman midfielder. Kohlberg trying to put some high pressure on it, and does. Days plays it beautifully into Kohlberg. Kohlberg turns and wins an Arlington throw. Tries to do a head fake and does. And here comes another Arlington substitution. It's going to be Grace Kahlo, the senior. Arlington substitution, Grace Kahlo replaces Jenny Lucian. Not a bad shift from Lucy. She made a couple of nice balls in the middle. Here's a ball back to Manstad with plenty of time, number 16. Shoots it into the box, tries to get it over to Conti. Conti wins the ball. She's played short to Kohlberg. Kohlberg, I don't know what that was. Kind of lofted it towards the middle. But Abigail Ewing bails her out, and Arlington keeps possession. Ewing tries to play it back to Crimmins. Crimmins gets dispossessed. And a nice play by the Woburn. A nice switch by Woburn. Ball rolls across to number 13, Sylvia Hanna. Hanna plays it back nicely to number 4, Captain Casey Danizio. And we have got a free kick for Arlington. An offside, excuse me. Manstad sends it deep into Kohlberg. Woburn meets it first. Days on the ball. And and it just looks, James, to me like a sea of orange.
Yes, yes.
It's a sea of orange.
I was just going to note that it looks to me as so far on the basis of what I've seen that if Arlington is going to mount a meaningful attack, it's going to need to be in combination play. The Woburn defenders are very, very good one-on-one so far.
There's Conti with great hustle, but shielded very, very nicely by the Woburn defender. Big, big Woburn traveling crowd here today, James. If you look in front of us, most of this section is Woburn folks, although there is some good Arlington attendance as well on the right-hand side. We've got a nice crowd here today on a beautiful afternoon. There's a first ball that lands, that bounces. It shouldn't happen in top-level soccer. Crimmins shoots it, tries to shoot it across to Days. Days does win it, tries to get it over to Kohlberg. And here's Days again, who pops a nice one over into Kohlberg, broken up by the Woburn defender. Manstad tries to leap. She forgets something there. And here comes Julia Taylor again. Taylor with the only goal of the game. Tries to send it across, but it falls right into the lap of Crimmins, who tries to shoot it in deep to Kohlberg. The ball bounces in the Woburn end. Conti on the hunt. There's Manstad stepping up again. And here's another problem. Well, that's not going to be an issue for Elizabeth Horgan. She's got the wheels, and she sends it out of bounds. Elizabeth Horgan, as I mentioned, a 4-year starter, sweeper, senior captain, and league all-star.
You're mentioning that there's a decent Woburn crowd here, Ken, and I think they've got to be pretty content with what they've seen so far from their team. It's not only that they're ahead, but they have not been seriously threatened up to this point, and they have in turn had several opportunities. In some ways, Arlington can count itself lucky to be down 1-0 or 2-0.
I fully agree. The Woburn girls are here to play, and it just shows how tough the Middlesex League is this year. I do believe it's one of the top leagues in the state, and I think Woburn, and as you said earlier, their record of 2-3-1 is not representative. It is a ball indeed, but Rush handles it nicely, and here come the Spy Ponders. The Spy Ponders are sending 2 and maybe 3 up, but they're going to have to get past. Here's Kohlberg with a win and a turn and some wheels, and wins the Arlington throw-in. Arlington substitution. It's a midfielder. It's Julia Hazen. Comes in for number 25, Sophie Morris. Arlington substitution. Julia Hazen, sophomore, replaces the freshman Sophie Morris. Number 6, Julia Hazen. So Hazen gets her first touch of the game. She shoots it in nicely to Kohlberg. Kohlberg with a little win in the middle. Plays it over to Kahlo. Kahlo gets it into Ewan, and Ewan with a shot, but she shot it wide into the left of the net. It was a nice little combination.
Yeah, but again, the openings are small right now. You had one shot at there.
Here's a nice first ball by Manstad. Kohlberg with time and space. What's she going to do? Shoots it into Manstad. Ooh, weakly, and Manstad can't get there. And I don't think Austin liked that. Days with a nice close. Carolyn Days, a freshman. Look at number 2. First year on the team, playing with great boys, and eating up a lot of minutes for Austin this season so far. Starter. Beautiful chip in by Manstad. Someone's got to get there. Ooh, almost bobbled.
Well played by the goalie.
Well played by the goalie, Kelsey Quayle. Here's a first ball again, not met by Arlington, and here's what happens. When the first ball is not met up the middle, bad things happen. They call it the highway, and when that ball goes up Highway 66 and the defending team allows it to bounce, it just causes all sorts of problems, including the potential for the ball to roll in towards the goalkeeper and 2 quick strikers to run on it. I can tell you, James, that many coaches practice that with a lot of time in practice, meeting that first ball off the punt. Conti keeps it in, but it rolled out on Woburn, so it's going to be another Arlington throw. It's taken by Abigail Ewan. Ewan throws it across. It's met by a Woburn defender. Manstad tries to win it. She's muscled off the ball by number 3, Nicole Cronin. And here come the Tanners. Number 13 with lots of room. Hannah Sylvia, number 13. defender took the run. And here's a timeout by the Tanners.
It's a good point you made there before, Ken, about goal kicks and the contrast between what happened on two goal kicks in a row, one coming from Woburn and not met by the Arlington team that ended up going up the channel. And then the next one coming from Arlington, which the Woburn player met immediately and put out of bounds. And that's been part of the difference in the game so far.
Well, I agree with you. I think what's going to happen here is the Spy Ponders are going to have to get creative. And to get past those four big defenders, I can tell you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Higgins puts a fifth defender back there or has two of his midfielders, just play a holding pattern, a holding position. That's what we saw in the playoffs last year. And Arlington's got their work cut out for them because even no matter how talented of a striker you have, if they're going up against three or four defenders, there's only so much they can do. Particularly if the defenders are well seasoned, like Higgins defenders, and know how to help each other and communicate.
Yeah, and also I have to say, when they're as strong as they are in their one-on-one defending, as they have been so far, there's been several examples where we've taken our strikers or Arlington strikers have taken them on. Arlington strikers with good skills, excellent ball skills, but just not able to move past with possession in a way that can be threatening.
Well,
But one thing I noticed, Ken, is that you're right, of course, about the Woburn coach's reaction and putting more defenders back in that zone. But I've also been impressed by the fact that they are continuing to be aggressive whenever they can going forward towards the Arlington goal. And they've had a couple more chances even since they went up 1-0.
absolutely. This is the sort of game that we anticipated, where the Spy Ponders are really going to have to work for their opportunities and to work for the W. It looks like we've got another freshman coming into the game for Arlington, and this is an interesting substitution. Arlington substitution, number 23, Alyssa Petrillo, replaces number 18, Raina Conti. Petrillo, James, if you didn't know, is another one of the freshman players that Austin has brought up. He took 6 this year. Here's the first ball for Woburn, and it's run down nicely by the Woburn striker, looks like number 9 over there, Alexa Palmisano, but she ran out of real estate.
In your experience, Ken, six strikes me as an unusually large number of freshmen to take on.
Yeah, in the 4 years that I've been covering the team, this is the most he's taken. When the current senior group came in, he took 4, and then the year after that, he didn't take any. Then last year, he took 4, and then this year he took 6. So it's the most that he's taken so far. It really is, though, James, a bumper crop. I'll speak about them over the course of the game. One of them is a backup goalkeeper, Anna Kuklinski, who's seen some good minutes this season. But the other 5 are all players who have seen lots of minutes already. There's number 12, Maggie Crimmins, with the ball right now, a lefty, usually a midfielder. He's got her playing on the left defense now. She's a freshman. Carolyn Days, as I mentioned, is on the right-hand side at midfield. She's a freshman. Petrillo is now playing striker with Kohlberg. She's a freshman. Sophie Morris, who started at midfield for her second start of the season, coming back from injury, is a freshman. And, of course, you won't see number 16, Amelia Manstad, come out of the game. She's a right defender. And she is a starter and a big part of the future of this team. So, yeah, six freshmen is a lot. There's a nice ball by Ewan. She plays it into Hazen, who's running out of time. She plays it back to Ewan. And Ewan tries to shoot it up, but the ball rolls out of bounds for Arlington. So Arlington, I don't know. It looks like they're going to need a little more punch.
Yep, I have to agree with you. And I also wanted to make note of the fact that, 6 freshmen is a lot, but it's particularly the amount of playing time that they're getting. Clearly, he's not just pulling these guys up so that they can see what this level of soccer is like. He has every expectation that they can perform at this level.
Absolutely. and that's one of the unique things that he's got going on this year. 3 of them, as you saw today, started. Morris and Days and Manstad. And then Crimmins came into the game very shortly after the start of the game. And now you see Petrillo, and so that runs out the 5 field players. And Kuklinski may not get in the game. There's Kohlberg who shoots it across to Manstad, who tries to shoot it across to Ewan, but it doesn't roll. The younger Manstad plays the head ball nicely, but it's collected by number 13, Hannah Sylvia, the defender. She shoots it across, and here's a dangerous brush, nice play by Amelia Brush coming out of the box and sending it sideways. Good use of the real estate by Amelia Brush. And here we've got another Arlington substitution. It's Jenny Lucci coming back in for Abigail Ewan, giving Abigail a break. So James,
sorry, Ken, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying. So Abigail Ewan, sophomore midfielder, has had a phenomenal season, winning 50-50 balls, coming back from a broken a separated shoulder this summer, and she has not gotten many breaks this season. She has given Austin a lot of minutes because he's trying to get her back in shape for the playoffs, and she has really, her last game in Wakefield was a beauty.
She has been impressive even so far in this game, I would say, in those one-on-one matchups that she's had. Just to talk for a second about Amelia Brush at the play that she made just now, coming out outside the box and kicking the ball at safety. I have the sense that she's going to continue to need to do that throughout the rest of this game because Arlington looks slightly exposed at the back, and Woburn is getting some possession in the midfield and looking to get the ball up the field quickly. So Amelia will have to stay alert.
Here's Manstad. Tries to shoot it across and does to Petrillo. Petrillo tries to shoot it across the Kohlberg. Beautiful play by Alyssa Petrillo. And there's a shot by Petrillo across the net. It's hunted down by Days, who keeps it in beautifully. Oh, she tries to keep it in.
Great effort.
Great effort by the young freshman, number 2, Days. And a beautiful play by 23, Petrillo, to shoot it across. So Austin getting some quality minutes once again from this freshman. And
it has been interesting also to note, Ken, as I'm sure you've seen, that everything that Arlington plays into the box, into their offensive box, is coming from the wings. There's very little that's coming straight up the middle. And what that means is somebody's got to get a foot, a knee, a head, something on it, because we've had several balls go across the box, but without any spy ponders near to make that necessary next touch.
understood. There's Lucy, who's buried by number 7, Kelsey Long. No call. We've got a beautiful visitor here in the box. This looks like some sort of tarantula, a baby tarantula. Fortunately, neither James, Milan, and myself are afraid, and we're going to let it sit. Here's Elizabeth Horgan, who tries to shoot it into Days. It doesn't get there, but Kohlberg tries to get there first, but no. A beautiful play again by this number, who is that? That's number 4, yeah. So they've got another stellar defender, Casey Denizio.
Yeah, the captain, is that right?
Yes, Denizio is a senior captain, and I can see why. Beautiful player for Woburn, number 4 on the left-hand side. Here's a foot race. It's won by the Woburn striker, number 14, Jamie Mogaro, but doesn't get much on the shot with the left peg. Not a lot of mustard on that. There's a nice blast by Brush. She sends it in, and Petrillo goes to hunt it down and does nicely. And it's going to be a Woburn ball. But great hustle by Petrillo.
Absolutely. She was very fast.
So the first
the ball, and it was Arlington throw.
Oh, good. Arlington throw. Petrillo over to Hazen. Hazen tries to send it back to Petrillo. Petrillo sends it beautifully into the box, but it goes over the net. Was that Days or Petrillo?
That was Days.
Days. Carolyn Days with a nice foot on it. Here comes Sophie Morris, the freshman, back into the game. She replaces number 20, Grace Carlo, the senior midfielder. So Austin now has all 5 of his freshmen on the field, except for the goalie. And here's Crimmins, who steps up. plays a beautiful square ball to Morris. Morris plays it nicely into Manstad, but she does not have enough room.
That was cleverly done.
Clever. Clever. Nice square ball by
Yes,
Crimmins.
really nice first touch from Crimmins.
Very
Very
composed.
mature.
Yeah. And Crimmins, interestingly enough, James, she is not historically, at least in youth, a midfield defender. I think she's been playing, if I'm not mistaken, mostly midfield, but I could be wrong. I know she doesn't typically play striker. There's Manstad, shoots it across to Lucy. Lucy with a big gun. She takes a shot, and it's a beautiful save, but a good check by Lucy, and it's going to be an Arlington corner kick. Well, Lucy put a lot of mustard on that one. It was far out, though. So here's a chance. It's going to be number 16, Manstad. I've always felt, it looks like Morris is going to take it. By the way, James, in the last game, a beautiful combination. Sophie Morris, the freshman, took a corner kick, and number 16, Amelia Manstad, the other freshman, ran on it, headed it in for a goal. So let's see if maybe they can get a repeat
Yeah, I'd
on
love
that.
to see a reprise of that.
Here's Morris into the box to Manstad. Manstad tries to take a touch, and she's knocked out of bounds.
I imagine it might seem to you the same as to me. She would have been better served first time.
Putting
the ball on net first time there. She had the room.
She did. There's a nice first ball by Jenny Lucy. Horgan off the face, off the nose. Days plays it nicely into Hazen. Hazen plays it nicely into Petrillo, a little late getting there. Beautiful step by the Woburn defender, number 20.
That was a nice turn.
Nora
nice
Martini.
Turn from number 6.
There's a ball in.
Elizabeth Horgan does not get taken advantage of very often, but that was a lovely turn from Woburn's number 6 that left Elizabeth in her wake.
Yes, that's Erica Gagne, a sophomore, and we've seen some nice moves from her already today. The minutes are winding down, James, in the first half. We've got less than 6 to go. And it's been up and down, but I think Woburn has probably had the better chances. Although in the last 10 minutes it's been mostly Allen.
Yeah, it's generally been, as we mentioned very early on, a kind of up for grabs game. But in the aggregate, I would say that Woburn's had slightly more of a play, and that a 1-0 halftime result, should that be what the teams go in with, is probably pretty reflective of what's been happening out here.
Agreed. Let's see if Arlington can survive this corner kick, the most dangerous play in soccer. It looks like
They've got all 11 in the box, so Arlington does. So hopefully,
Higgins has flooded the box, and Woburn gets a head on it, but it rolls out of bounds.
Free header for Woburn there, right at the 6-yard box, with 11 Arlington players in the box. So that's not a good sign.
Dangerous play. So Mackenzie Sheriff comes back in the game. Kohlberg and Sheriff up top. Morris, Lucy, Hazen, and Days in the midfield. And the defense has stayed the same with Crimmins, Horgan, and the younger Manstad. Interestingly, it looks like, which you don't see very often, it looks like, oh no, she's in there. I thought that he had given Insa Manstad, number 3, the senior captain midfielder, a break, but she's still in. It looks like Ewan is getting some rest in this half. There's a nice ball by Morris. Morris with a nice win. Plays it over to Hazen, who tries to play it over to Days, but it rolls out of bounds. And here come the Tanners with 4 minutes left. A nice throw in by Danzio. Broken up by the younger Manstad. And it's going to be a Woburn throw in again.
Yeah, you were speculating, Ken, about whether Insa Manstad might have gotten a little bit of a breather there. And I did want to say that I've noticed that both Insa and Anna Kohlberg putting an awful lot of work in, as midfielders and forwards tend to do, throughout this half, and playing every minute. Necessary for their skills and abilities, but it's a tough road to hoe for both of them.
It is. Here's a win by Kohlberg over to Morris. Morris back to the younger Manstad. Tries to play it over to Days, but rolls out of bounds, and it's going to be a Woburn throw. And here comes another Woburn substitution. So Higgins he gives a break to his goal scorer, Julia Taylor, and she is replaced by, what number is this? Number 13? Hannah Sylvia. Woburn substitution, number 13, Hannah Sylvia, replaces number 18, Julia Taylor. Hazen plays it back to Manstad. Manstad tries to send it in deep to Sheriff. Sheriff can't get there. Cleared by Woburn. And it scoots across over to Woburn midfielder, but it's won by Crimmins. Lucy with a nice play. It goes over to Sheriff. Sheriff gets away with the call. She's got some runners, but can't collect it. And there's Manstad getting there first, sending it in nicely to Kohlberg. Kohlberg shielding, but Woburn comes away with it. Manstad again, and there's Morris on the hunt. A long ball, that's an offsides call, but he didn't make the call because he didn't need to. So it rolls all the way down to Brush. Brush with a big foot, sends it in a little bit skewed, but Gaze should be able to get there. Kohlberg gets there, dumps it back, and that's going to be an Arlington throw. And okay, so we're at the 2-minute mark. It's Arlington with a throw into Sheriff. Sheriff's a magician. She sends it across, and no one from Woburn can get there. Oh! Interesting, dangerous play. Lucy almost squeaked in there, as did Kohlberg, but we were unable to get the shot off.
Yep, just a second behind where they needed to be getting into the box.
Here come the Tanners, but Manstad is there beautifully to save it. Morris with a nice first touch into space. There's Sophie Morris, plays it across to Kohlberg. Kohlberg sends it over to Lucy. Lucy, with some time, tries to chip it into Sheriff, but Sheriff's not there. And the Woburn Tanners are able to clear it. The ball rolls out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the freshman Crimmins. Crimmins dumps it into Manstad, plays it on a first touch into Kohlberg. Kohlberg can't collect it. The Tanners win possession in the midfield, and here they come. Hazen tries to play it into Kohlberg. Kohlberg can't win it, and the Tanners play nicely in the backfield. Try to shoot in a long ball to Erica Gagne, but Horgan is there. Plays it over to Crimmins. Crimmins plays it over to the top to Hazen. Hazen collects it nicely and plays it over to Manstad, and there's some nice possession in the middle. Some trademark Arlington soccer, short balls in the middle. Kohlberg leaves it for Manstad. Manstad shoots it across the day in towards the middle. No one's there. Kohlberg with a nice challenge. And the girls are working hard. Sheriff tries to scoot in there and does, but oh, what a play again by Kelsey Clay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that nothing is coming to fruition, because there's some very nice little bits. That was beautiful the way that Arlington moved the ball out of the back, in possession all the time. 1- and 2-touch run.
James, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that in his last 10 minutes, Arlington is really controlling the ball. Kohlberg tries to play it into Morris. Morris with a nice fake, and she's pushed from behind, and it's going to be a free kick for Arlington. So here's a chance, James, for Arlington to send the ball into the box. Now, what I haven't seen Austin do much this year, and it's a play that I typically do like, is in a situation like this where you're under 2 minutes, flood the box.
Yes.
And I think last year, if you'll recall, Kendra Griezmann, the college now playing, she was a senior captain last year, they'd send her into the box, and there it goes into Kohlberg, but she can't get ahead on it. One of the things that Austin has done historically, he's flooded the box with some of his defenders. And last year he had a superstar named Kendra Griezmann who's gone on to play at Haverford College. And here we are at halftime. And here we are, second half action. It looks like Austin has gone with his exact same starting lineup. Linnea McAllister back in. She was removed early in the first half for Crimmins at left D, but back in there. And it looks like Grace Hollow is in for the start of the second half. In midfield with Jenny Lucy, Sophie Morris, Insa Manstad, and Carolyn Days. And there's the kickoff to start the half. So if you look, James, there it is. It's 4 flat backs for Mike Higgins and the Woburn Tanners. And the game, I mean, obviously the whole situation is, can you get past those 4 backs to get in there? And what Austin has tried to do is send Manstad in, and she does. There's Kohlberg with a win, tries to shoot it across to Manstad, and there's the template. There's what the strategy is going to be for Arlington. Nice ball in, and there's Kohlberg who gets past the defender. Here's Anna Kohlberg with a nice fake. But runs out of real estate.
Yep.
And it's going to be Woburn ball.
Well, as you said, the template is there for Arlington and also for Woburn as well. There, Ken. We saw that Arlington played a clever cross-field ball, which might have gotten behind a three-person defense, but there's an extra defender back
Right,
there, so
right,
they just snatched
right.
it right up.
And so what I can tell you about that, James, that's a good point. And just so you know, Austin, the Arlington coach, and Higgins, the Woburn coach, have known each other for 25 years. I think they even used to coach together. So it is going to be a little bit of a strategic duel. These gentlemen are friends, but also longtime rivals, and so there is going to be some strategy that's going to be at play here in the second half. Here's an Arlington throw-in. It's going to be taken by Days, the freshman. She plays it back to Manstadt, the other freshman. Manstadt tries to dump it in and does. Kohlberg gets the first touch, tries to shoot it across to Manstadt, and there's a Woburn win in the middle for Erica Gagné. Gagné plays it across and back to Gagné. She's broken up by Carlo. Carlo with a nice win sends it over to Days, and Days has got some time and space. Days tries to chip it into Kohlberg. It's broken up by number 16, Emma Turner, the midfielder for the Tanners. Tanners are here to play, as we've said. Kohlberg tries to win it, but it's shot out long by the Tanners. And James, I want to tell you right now, we're going to see a lot of that this afternoon. The Tanners are just going to be clearing the ball. I've seen over the years the Tanners, when they have a lead or a tie, just try to shoot long balls, not even passing long balls. I mean just dumping the ball out of their zone. And I think we're going to see some of that today. Days tries to play it short. It's broken up by Woburn. It goes knocked out of bounds by Carlo.
Well, there's one thing that if we do see a lot of that in the second half from Woburn, the challenge for Arlington, and it's a significant one, is not to fall into that same pattern, not to turn it into a ping pong type game where the ball is just going back and forth over the midfield line, and without there being any organized penetration of the Woburn defensive zone. So Arlington will have to collect those balls that get played out and really maintain possession through the midfield before they look to involve the strikers.
Correct. Lucy sends it across. Kohlberg on the hunt, number 14, working hard, but here come the Tanners. Carlo tries to break it up. It's back in to Gagné. Gagné's been all over the field, number 6. Here's Manstadt. There's Linnea, plays it nicely over to Manstadt, but a little bit too weak, and Woburn takes possession. Manstadt with the close. Woburn dumps it into the box, and here's a dangerous situation. Days gets knocked over by number 24, Ashlyn Pacheco. Ashlyn Pacheco is the only freshman on the team, and she is a cousin of Nicole Pacheco, who scored the game-winning penalty kick last year in the state quarterfinal to win the game for the Tanners. So here comes Morris with lots of space, tries to shoot it into Kohlberg, and does. Kohlberg into Manstadt. Manstadt's there. Oh, she's tripped in the box. And is there a call or no call? Yes, there is going to be. Is there going to be a penalty kick? Yes, there is going to be. Is there, James?
Yes, there is.
It looks like there's going to be a penalty kick, and it's a reasonable call. I mean,
is that the freshman stepping up to take it?
Manstadt drew the penalty in the box, and get this, James, you picked up on it. This is going to be the opportunity for the freshman, Sophie Morris, to tie the game on a penalty kick. Look at this. And Morris delivers it. Sophie Morris. Arlington goal number 25, the freshman, Sophie Morris.
Well, you called it, Ken. You asked for it, you got it. That's an early goal in the second half. 5 minutes in, and it's 1-1. Let's see what happens now, and whether Coach Higgins changes his strategy, whether the game opens up some.
Well, James, let me speculate for you there with respect to your comment about Higgins. I think that in this league, a point on the road is nothing to shake a stick at. And all I'm saying is that I do not anticipate him pulling those 4 off the bat and
this
trying.
Is still a good result for him.
Yeah, for him a tie is a good result. Austin wants to win, but again, Austin is 4-0-1, so he's yet to lose. And, no one really wants wants a tie, but a tie is not the worst thing. And there's Sophie Morris. She looked for Kohlberg nicely. There's a beautiful play by the Woburn defender. A challenge, and look at oh, beautiful decision by Horgan. Horgan does not get beat and makes a very nice defense. So there you saw Elizabeth Horgan at her best. Patient, not overcommitting, and really saving not only saving a goal. Here's Kohlberg with some space. This kid's got, she's 1-on-3, she's into a sea of orange. 1-on-5.
It looked like 1-on-5 there for a second.
But Arlington wins the ball. And, oh no, it's going to be Woburn ball. A nice play. So Sophie Morris, number 25, has really been fired up. James, I do want to mention she missed the first 3 or 4 games due to injury. She had a stress fracture. Last game was her first game of the season, and she got the assist on the corner kick to Manstad in her first game of the season. So now she's got a point in the second game, and in her varsity debut, she's got a point in both of her first 2 games as a varsity player. So hats off.
Think she might have a promising career in front of her, Ken?
Hats off to Sophie Morris. Morris, there's a story about her that goes way back to actually my son's playing days. She used to play with the boys when she was coming up in youth soccer. She used to play some very physical futsal at the old Gibbs gym in Arlington with the Arlington Eagles when she was a young kid. She was the only girl in the gym, and I do remember her being fearless then. She then went to a number of different club teams. I think right now she's with one of the top NEFC teams in Massachusetts. Either that or another one of the club teams. The name escapes me where she's playing now. But she's one of these real soccer players with lots of experience and lots of hustle.
Arlington took an unusual tactic there. I'm sure you noticed, Ken. Unusual for them, at least. Not unusual in general in football, but they played the goal kick straight out of the box to the left side defender and moved it out from there. I think that might not be a bad option for them moving forward as well, because it allowed them to maintain possession of the ball as it comes into the midfield area, which they have not successfully done with their goal kicks throughout the rest of the game so far. So.
Excellent point. There's Brush coming out and picking it in with her sticky fingers. Here comes a big Brush. James, question for you. So Ansell Manstad won the, here comes Kohlberg. Kohlberg tries to place it into Manstad, and Manstad's got wheels. And Woburn with a wise decision. And there's Days with the first ball. Carolyn Days, number 2, with a beautiful first ball over there. She's really hustling today. I can see why Austin is giving her the sort of minutes that she's earned so far this year.
Yeah,
James, the question I have, a softball back. Nope, not yet.
Like
There's a
penalty.
fault.
Yep.
So McAllister with the decision to play it back to Brush, and Brush was not expecting that. She had no choice but to come out and try to deflect it away, and in doing so, she yielded a penalty kick for Woburn. A very unfortunate turn of events for Arlington there.
Yeah. Let's see if Amelia can make her teammate feel better.
Oh, what a save by Brush! Oh, what a save by Brush on the penalty kick!
Still in the box.
Another shot. Get it out of there, ladies. Get it out of there, ladies. And, oh, Amelia Brush. Amelia Brush bails out her defenders. And there's a ball in and Kohlberg on the hunt. Look at Kohlberg go. She could win this, and she does. And it goes out off Woburn on a beautiful turn of events. A beautiful turn of events for the Spy Pounders. And here comes some substitutions for Arlington.
Well done, Amelia Brush.
Arlington substitutions. At defense, number 13, Julia Zapp. And at right midfield, Abigail Ewan. Well, things are looking good now for Austin as Amelia Brush bails out the defense on the penalty kick. And
yes, I'll tell you, the defender, I think you said her name is McAllister, the Arlington defender who played that ball back and got her goal into trouble. Sorry about that. Who's just gone off the field, and I think she's going to be feeling a little bit better on the sideline than she might otherwise have been.
yes, I think it's a reasonable substitution at this point by Austin. He dodges a bullet there. Here's Sheriff, lets it roll over to her nicely. Tries to play it square over to Ewan and does. Ewan tries to send it in the middle and does. Kohlberg with a shield, but she's offside. Yeah, just offside. So Sheriff looking for Kohlberg. Kohlberg did not like the call. She's got her hands on her waist. She did not think it was offsides. I think it was stand. Oh, there's Lucy tries to. Lucy does win the ball. Lucy with patience sends it square to Zach. Here's Zach's first touch of the game. Zach takes a touch, sends it into Manstad. Manstad with time sends it back to Carlo. Carlo turns, plays it across to Manstad, and Manstad's got plenty of space. And here come the Spy Ponders. Woburn just kicking it away. And Zach with some time takes a beautiful touch, picks her head up, dumps it into Manstad. Here come the Spy Ponders. Some trademark building. Manstad over to Carlo. Carlo into Manstad. Manstad tries to shoot it into Kohlberg. It's a little bit too weak. It comes back to Kohlberg. Kohlberg dumps it into Sheriff. Sheriff, oh, beautiful defender. And here comes Lucy, who sends it in, but she shot it wide.
Definitely more promising for Arlington since Amelia Brush stepped up and denied that penalty shot.
Yeah.
It was really lovely save.
It was a
Excellent
lovely save.
anticipation, full stretch.
Yeah, Brush is having a breakout season. And that's all you can really say. That save was just an unbelievable save.
Yeah, definitely not a poorly taken kick. Good pace on it, excellent placement, but Amelia guessed right and made a great play on it. Well, it's been a very exciting 12 minutes of the second half already, Ken.
Hasn't it though, James? This has been a delightful game. The build-up for this all week has been momentous, and it's a classic rematch. As I said, it was Woburn who knocked Arlington, heavily favored Arlington, out of the playoffs last season, and we've seen some great action so far in this game. But I agree with you that the play of the game certainly was Amelia Brush to the rescue. And now let's see if Arlington, look, they're fired up, James. Look at them. Look at them in the box. There they come.
Clearly fired them up. So, Ken, let me ask you something. I'm not as familiar. I know in high school soccer you can take a timeout for half, and one of the coaches just opted to do so. It seems to me with 28 minutes left, it's a long time to take a timeout. What might be in a coach's mind as he would choose to take a timeout?
Interesting question. Who took the timeout? Do you know?
I'm not sure which team it was. I did not pick up on it.
I do not know myself, and therefore I can't say what the strategy there would be to take a timeout. I think if it was Woburn, I think that Higgins has got to tell his girls that they're getting I mean, the first 12 minutes have been all Arlington, correct?
Other than the penalty.
Other than the penalty, and that was an error. And I think that
You're right.
If that timeout was taken by Higgins, it would have been for the purpose of telling his girls, look, you guys got to settle down. You played them beautifully in the first half, but in the second half, you're floundering. And Woburn has had really no possession this half that I've seen. Their one lucky break, they didn't capitalize on. And here comes Arlington again. Kohlberg with a header into Sheriff. Sheriff can't collect it. Lucy plays it into Kohlberg. Kohlberg on the hunt. And there's a big fight, and it's going to be Woburn ball. I think Arlington has got to stay very, very fired up this half, and we're down into the 13th or 14th minute. The Arlington girls were completely locked in my view, James, at this point, and buoyed by the Brush save.
Interesting, isn't it? What play like that can do? A goalkeeper can influence a game like that. Just change the tone entirely, change the entire energy level.
Absolutely.
With a brilliant save off a penalty shot or something else. It's the power of that position.
Right. So I think, if I were to speculate to answer your question, I think the timeout was taken by Higgins. I think that he's trying to keep his girls engaged. And I think here comes Arlington. Manstad's got her favorite target, Kohlberg. Kohlberg keeps it in, but just unable to keep it in. She got to the ball, and it was a beautiful through ball by Manstad to one of her favorite targets. A lot of these kids on the field right now have been playing on the same team since third grade. Sheriff, Kohlberg, Manstad, Brush, Lucy, Horgan. They've all been together for a long time, and there's a nice ball in. Here comes Kohlberg. She shoots. She scores! Arlington goal. What number is that? Number 14. 14, Anna Kohlberg. And who was that from? It looked like it was assisted.
I agree, though I don't know who put that ball through.
Was it
Wait a
Sheriff?
minute.
Hold on.
Definitely somebody put it through.
Assisted by number 21, Jenny Lucci. Here comes Kohlberg again. This guy, by the way, is near and dear to my heart. She pushes it to Sheriff, but Sheriff just came outside. So Kohlberg will be quiet the last couple of games.
So once we go,
On the board. She's got a few goals this season. Jenny Lucci, who got the assist, has been spectacular. The last game, as I mentioned, actually it was in Reading. She was spectacular. She was spectacular. And here comes Kohlberg again on the hunt.
Well, Ken, you called it. It's been all Arlington all the time with that one aberration so far here in the second half, and they have richly earned this 1-goal lead that they are now enjoying.
Yeah, it's been, we're 15 minutes into the second half, and it really has been all Arlington. As I was mentioning, Jenny Lucci she came off a, Kohlberg with
Nice
a big win.
turn.
Here comes Kohlberg again. She shoots it across, and she wins the corner kick. So Kohlberg has come alive. Here comes Morris with a corner kick, the freshman. Jenny Lucci had to miss a couple of games with a gash in her head that she suffered in the, I think, in the preseason. And she has really come alive as a starter in these past few games. And that was a beautiful pass into Kohlberg for the go-ahead goal for Arlington. So Arlington now looking good with a 1-goal lead, 17 minutes into the second half. Here's Morris into the box. No one there for Arlington. Manstad plays it nicely back to Julia Zach, who tries to send it in with the left foot. And there's Woburn kicking it away. A look at that volley by Lucci again. Lucci is a magician. She played that ball off her chest, onto her thigh, and back in. Soccer aficionados will appreciate a volley like that. There's not a lot of scoring in soccer, but there is a lot of individual aesthetics that if you like the game, you're going to appreciate when you see the Arlington kids play. There's a ball in from Manstad, tried to be collected by Kahlo, unable to. Elizabeth Horgan beautifully wins the first ball on the clear. And here's Woburn again, just sort of sending it out into the defensive zone. So James, now I think all the pressure is on Higgins. He has got to now find a way to pierce the Arlington defense, down by a goal on the road. He's getting into the second half of the second half, and Arlington has really stepped up and controlled the play.
Yeah, he's going to need to, he and his team are going to need to chase the game now, and that should open up some more possibilities for Arlington on the counterattack. But so far, we haven't even seen Woburn maintain any meaningful possession in Arlington's half. So if they can't do that, Arlington's going to stay in very, very good shape and quite comfortable for the remaining 22 minutes. We'll see.
Fans, if you're joining us now, we're halfway through the second half. Arlington was losing 1-0 much of the game, and has come out in the second half in spectacular fashion. There's Grace Kahlo with a nice win. Kahlo into Kohlberg. Kohlberg dumps it into Sheriff beautifully with a header, and Sheriff tried to run on it, but she couldn't. Woburn clears it away, but Horgan is there again, the star-centered back, with the head ball. There's a beautiful play by number 17 on Woburn, Allison Mogaro, but she put a little bit too much mustard on it, and it rolls all the way back to the Arlington keeper, Brush. Brush rolls it in softly to Horgan. Horgan over to the freshman Manstad. Manstad with her head up, plays it into Kahlo. Kahlo's got some time in the midfield. Kahlo tries to shoot it into Kohlberg and Sheriff. Neither of them can collect it, and it's played beautifully by the Woburn defender, number 20, Nora Martini. Here's Kahlo, plays it with the outside of her foot over to Morris. Morris shoots it into Manstad, and this is going to be trouble for Woburn. But no, Yes, it is trouble for Woburn. Across and cleared out.
Nicely cleared by number 17 yet again. She has been the stalwart back there for Woburn from the beginning of the game till now.
Allison Maguaro, you're correct. What a star defender, and only a sophomore.
But it's interesting to note, Ken, isn't it, that Arlington is enjoying significant freedom in the midfield right now. They are moving through there virtually unchallenged, I think, some of the time.
There's a nice hard shot by Manstad. A nice save. And Ewan tries to head it back in. A rocket shot from Insa Manstad, but a beautiful save by Kelsey Quayle. And Abigail Ewan, the workhorse, number 9, was there to get ahead on the rebound, but it caromed out of bounds and behind the Woburn net, and resulting in a goal kick for Woburn. Thrilling game as we move to the second half of the second half. 20 minutes left. This half has been all Arlington. Kohlberg and Sheriff are applying tremendous high pressure. Thank you very much. Tremendous high pressure on the Tanners. And here comes Zach on the hunt. Julia Zach is now in the game, and it looks like she's here to stay. She is fired up, number 13. She is a junior defender. Here's Kohlberg with lots of space. Nobody from Woburn there. And we're seeing some big Arlington possession. Kohlberg plays it into herself. And it looks like she just come up so that it could be the calf. Yep, that's going to be it for Kohlberg. The calf muscle, and she's going to be down. And we've got a player down.
Just waiting for it to be recognized.
Yeah, she's had some calf issues all season long, and it looks like this one's a serious one. So we've got a timeout on the field. I hope we don't know whether this is an injury or a strain. Kohlberg earlier in the season has had a tight calf muscle, and we hope this isn't terribly serious. She's up, and that'll probably be it for the senior captain, Anna Kohlberg, today. Austin got his minutes from her.
That's for sure. She worked and worked and worked side to side. I was noticing even in the first half, Ken, that Anna was just relentless and tireless, covering laterally. Her lateral coverage on the field was impressive in and of itself. And with basically 2 people up front, as they had for most of the first half, she was really the one to receive the ball coming out of the midfield more often than any other. She did a ton of work. I'm glad she was rewarded with an excellent goal minutes ago in the second half. Yeah, and let's hope that this is just a little bit of a strain or some cramping maybe, or something like that, something that she can recover from quickly, because the team needs her and we want to see her back out on the field as soon as we can.
Well, let's see. So in for Kohlberg is number 23, the freshman Alyssa Petrillo. Arlington substitution, number 23, Alyssa Petrillo, freshman.
Looks like they're moving.
Replacing number 14, Anna Kohlberg. So Petrillo's in the game. Day's another freshman with the fight, and he's got, there's a long ball in, but Brush reads it beautifully and collects it. We're down with, we've got 18 minutes left in the game. Austin still going with the young lineup. He's got Mars, the freshman, Petrillo, the freshman. He's got Manstad, the freshman, and Carolyn Days, the freshman. Yeah. So he's got 4 freshmen. There's Petrillo on the hunt, working hard. Woburn plays it nicely on a combination in the backfield, but kicks it out of bounds. So it's going to be Arlington ball. And I don't know, did they take Kohlberg off? Is she over? Is that her sitting down? No, that's someone else is stretching there. Could be.
She's got to be with the trainer somewhere.
There's Ewan. Ewan with a win. and they're going to call it on Ewan. Abigail Ewan is just a fearless warrior, and she gets called for the kiss against the Woburn defender. That call, James, I believe, could have gone either way.
Seemed like it. I think if it weren't the goalie, then it likely could have gone the other way.
There's Ewan trying to win it. She does win it over to Petrillo. Petrillo with her head up, cuts nicely, plays possession over to Kahlo. Kahlo with a nice first touch into Morris. Morris loses control. It's won by Woburn, but look at again. Just kicking it away, and not much they can do, but
sure,
they do win possession towards the midfield.
That approach is not going to serve them so well now that they're behind.
So here we are with about 16 minutes left. Austin has got his young lineup in, although he's got certainly some experienced seniors in as well. Here's Grace Kahlo, who's winning now the midfield. She's fighting valiantly, and she's had a very nice game actually, James. Number 21,
I agree
Grace
completely.
Kahlo.
She didn't see a lot of play time in the first half, but she's been excellent in her appearance here in the second.
Yeah, and she started the second half. And she's been on the field the whole time. Kahlo, an interesting player. She's also a basketball captain and a star basketball player. She's an AAU basketball player in addition to Arlington High School, multi-sport athlete. I did mention earlier Abigail Ewan, and I think one of the reasons why she's had such good success on the soccer field is she too is a multi-sport athlete. She's a basketball star as a junior, and also a softball star. So
yeah, I think Woburn's seeing a little bit more of the ball over the last 5 minutes, but again, it's all happening in the midfield sector. Amelia Brush has just vacuumed up everything coming in anywhere near her so far. And Arlington looks very, very comfortable right now.
And look at here, some more possession in the middle. Morris chips it in beautifully to Manstad. Manstad on the hunt, and Manstad wins the Arlington throw-in. So I will say, James, if you didn't know this, that number 3, Insa Manstad, in addition to being a soccer star, is a track star, and she's one of the fastest kids in the state. She was the only girl, I believe, from the Arlington track team to go to nationals last year. So the Arlington strategy is reasonable to send deep balls into her because she can run down and outrun most defenders in the state in soccer. And so I think that Austin maybe it is trying to play some long balls into Manstad. Although Manstad number 3 is playing in a midfield position, I think that she has carte blanche to make the deep runs into the Woburn zone, not only because she can outrun the Woburn defenders, but because she has the speed to get back on defense if necessary.
Yeah, I think you and I were talking way back when, near the end of the first half, when things were looking considerably grimmer than they are at the moment for Arlington, and talking about speculating about potential tactical changes that could free Insa up a little bit more because I think everybody recognizes that she is a threat anytime she can get on or near the ball.
Beautiful dummy by Ewan over to Manstad. Tried to play it back to Ewan. Look at Manstad get up and down. She is just fired up. And look at that, a Woburn player is down, and we've got a timeout on the field. But Insa Manstad just challenged. And
I think she took on 4 players there in the space of 10 seconds and ended up coming out with the ball.
What?
She's coming in.
So, James, it looks like Kohlberg is going to come back into the game.
Yep, she's at the table. That's where we wanted to see her.
So, yeah, it's interesting. I think that what tends to happen, and has happened with her over the course of the season, is that calf muscle has tightened up on her. I think that if I were her parent, I would encourage her to eat more bananas. Wait a minute. Actually, I'll go no further there. It may be a potassium issue. Anyway, Kohlberg set to come back in.
You already tipped your hand, I think, Ken, a little earlier when you said you had slight fondness for the girl.
Well, the child is near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
All right, so we're coming down to the 13th minute, James. It's been all Arlington this half. Morris sends it in on a sportsmanship kick to turn the ball over to Woburn, and here comes a big goal kick by Kelsey Quayle. It's met at the midfield by Woburn. A beautiful turn there by number 7, Kelsey Long, but too much mustard.
That's something we don't want to see repeated too often in this half, in the remainder of this game from Arlington, and that is that they ceded possession of that goal kick to Woburn and didn't even challenge the player.
At the midfield?
At the midfield.
Yeah. So we talked about that earlier. That's going to be something that's going to be a factor as the season wears down. There's a nice ball in by Woburn, but it's no one's there to collect it. Yeah, no, that's going to be an issue. That first ball off the goal kick. The first ball's got to be met by the defense. There's Brush with a nice, but see, met by Woburn, but no, met by Woburn, but on the side of the foot by Nicole Cronin, and it almost scooted through to Ewan. Ewan is a force. Here she is right there. Ewan tries to play it in with a header into
ball.
Manstad. Manstad with one touch. Manstad, keep going, and it's broken up beautifully by Woburn.
Well
Morris collects it.
Anticipated by Morris.
Here comes Morris, and she's knocked down, and it's going to be a call. And here's a dangerous situation.
This looked like an inside free kick area to me, but she doesn't seem to be heading over to the ball. So
free kick. It's going to be taken by Jenny Lucy. Lucy, one of these magicians with her feet, and it looks like Austin is going to flood the box to the right. Here comes the free kick by Lucy. She sends it to the far post, but no one's there to collect it. And it's going to be a squandered opportunity there for the Spy Ponders. Kohlberg comes back into the game for Petrillo. It'll be interesting to see whether she can finish the game with the calf tightness. Yes?
Announce. Substitution.
Arlington substitution. Anna Kohlberg replaces number 23. Alyssa Petrillo. Manstad sends it into Kohlberg. Kohlberg a little bit slow getting there. Kahlo has been everywhere. She meets the ball at the midfield. There's a nice share by Woburn, a short ball in the middle. But Morris is there to win it. Zach with a hip check gets away with it. And here comes Morris, who plays it beautifully into Manstad, but it's collected by Ewan. And this could be trouble for the Tanners. And Arlington all over them. There's some nice possession and a nice build up in the back.
The Tanners there.
Nice build up in the back by the Tanners. Manstad gets taken down. She's down, she's up. And there's a deep ball in. No, beautifully met by Julia Zach. Some excellent minutes from Zach. A nice square ball by Days. Days over to... And Kohlberg is buried, but she's up. I'll tell you, James, after this game, they're going to have to take Kohlberg off the field with a spatula.
And I do want to echo your shout out to Julia Zach. Is that, do I have the right name? She has played very, very well since she came in.
Yeah, we've seen some big minutes. I'll make a note of that for the Arlington Advocate coverage. We've seen some big minutes from Julia Zach. Just to let you know, James, you may not, but the left defense position has seen some turnover this year because the starting left defender from last year, Olivia Jones, has been hurt.
Yes.
There's Kohlberg trying to win it. Morris and Kohlberg are on the hunt, and Elizabeth Horgan is back. She makes the decision to play it back to Brush. Brush beautifully over to Horgan to create some space. The two of them have been together for a while. Manstad square to Horgan. Horgan back to Manstad. Little breakdown in communication there, and they better get that ball out of there, and they do, except not enough. And so Arlington now in a little bit of trouble, but maybe not too much. It's going to be an Arlington throw. Julia Zach chucks it into Manstad. Manstad with not a lot of time, and Zach makes a wise decision to try to shoot it a little bit long. I think at this point it would be wise for Arlington to keep the ball out of there. And there's a beautiful first touch by Kahlo over to Lucy. Lucy lays it off softly to Morris, but it's won again by Kelsey Long.
Midfielder.
And so Woburn trying to mount an attack here as we're under 9 minutes left. And here is an attack, but Elizabeth Horgan is there. Very tough person to beat. And Horgan just ran down Erica Gagne and won the goal kick with the shielding play for Arlington.
And again, Ken, anything that we might call an attack from Woburn in the second half, again, accepting the one penalty kick, anything we might call an attack has really not resulted in anything close to a shot. Either Amelia Bruss has collected the ball straight out.
Watch this, James. Beautifully in, but a nice run off the ball by Kohlberg. Good idea by Ewan, but the Woburn defenders read it like a book. Susan Zach in the house. So Susan Zach comes into the house, the mother of Julia Zach, but maybe a little bit late. I mean, Julia has had some huge minutes. And here comes Mackenzie Sheriff back in the game for Abigail Ewan. Mackenzie Sheriff replaces number 9, Abigail Ewan. Mackenzie Sheriff comes back up top to replace Ewan. James, interesting decision here, I must say, to take Ewan out of the game. Ewan has been a workhorse all season long, and as I mentioned, the last game she was all over the midfield, winning multiple 50-50 balls and assisting on a goal, on the second goal in the last game. But I'm not, Austin has been a sage for many, many years, and he knows what he's doing. There's a beautiful play by Manstad to keep it in.
I have to say also that Ewan was impressive in her versatility, because when Anna Kohlberg had to go out with that injury, I noticed that they moved Ewan up to replace Anna in the forward line, and she did very, very well for the minutes that she was asked to do that.
Denise Crimmins in the house. Denise Crimmins in the house. This is like the LA Forum. I mean, these people are, they're leisurely strolling in with 10 minutes left. I feel like I'm in the old days of the Los Angeles Lakers. I know I'm dating myself here, but all right, here we go.
Well, they'll know better than to do that, since you apparently are drawing attention to their late arrival on the PA there, Ken. So.
Well, here we go, folks. Woburn under 6 minutes left, and they're going to have to pierce the Arlington defense. That ball goes out of bounds on Woburn, despite the efforts of the feisty Erica Gagne, who has really, James, I think number 6 has been all over the field for Woburn today. I give her a lot of credit. A real workhorse. She is a sophomore.
Yeah.
There's a clearing ball by Manstad. Nobody's there in the middle from Arlington to collect it. So here comes number 18, who's got the lone goal for Woburn, but she's hunted down by Carolyn Days, the freshman. Days also has been all over the field today. Yeah,
you mentioned Gagne, the sophomore, up front for Woburn, and I want to say that for my money, Woburn has been paced by 2 sophomores, because I believe you said that Maguaro herself, the defender, number 17, is also a sophomore. And on the 2 ends of the field, they have been the most impressive Tanners for my money so far.
No, I would agree. This is going to be an interesting last 5 minutes. The Tanners are going to have to, if Higgins wants to come out of here with a point, he's going to have to push. And if he pushes, he can get burned by Sheriff and Kohlberg and Manstad. And here comes Manstad now. She's hunted down by number 13. She's doubled. She's taken down. And it's going to be an Arlington throw-in. Nice savvy call by the referee. That one could have gone either way. We'll take it. All right, so Austin has got to use the clock. He's got some senior leadership in there now up top who will know to take the ball deep into the corner and step on it. If the opportunity arises. There's Kohlberg fighting for it down low. Manstad with the fight, and Manstad gets called with the push. So a free kick for Woburn. Time is running down now. We're under 4 minutes. And we have seen a real thriller today. Oh, beautiful touch by Lucy. Lucy plays it short. Mars tries to play it back to her. Reasonable idea. Yes, short ball soccer. Idea. There's another win by Lucy. Over to Zach, and Zach tries to shoot it into Sheriff and does. Can Sheriff run it down and keep it in? Yes. Sheriff with a beautiful sombrero over the head, and she sends it in. A elegant play by Mackenzie Sheriff. She played it over the Woburn defender's head to herself.
And Anna Kohlberg had staked out an excellent position in the box. It was just a little shy, the pass from where it needed to be, but both players doing exactly what they need to do.
There's a head ball by Morris. Great poise in the middle from that freshman. and it scoots out of bounds on Woburn, and it looks like Arlington.
Well, easy does it, Ken.
Exactly. I won't say it, but they certainly have carried the play in the second half.
Absolutely.
Again, certainly inspired by Brush, and they just better get back and try to defend here. Horgan is, here comes a breakaway. Number 13 plays it across, but Kahlo recovers. Grace Kahlo. And Kahlo sends it softly over to Manstad, and Manstad's got Sheriff on the run. She plays it instead over to, look at the give and go. Lucy to Manstad. Manstad into Kohlberg. Kohlberg, she's got Sheriff. She plays, Sheriff back to Kohlberg. She can't get it over.
The corner.
And it's out of bounds on Woburn. Sheriff and Kohlberg with a combination from Manstad and Lucy. Kohlberg tries for a win. Can't win it, but
great work from the forwards. Great work
from the
forwards.
And tremendous work.
A penalty.
A corner kick.
Corner kick as a reward. Well earned. And they might just want to play it short here. Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
A little step over for Manstad earns them another corner.
Nicely corner crossed. Kick over to Days. Days can't get there, and it's a handball on Days.
Well, Days that's one of the few missteps, or in this case, misarms she has taken all game long.
Woburn offsides on the play.
Yeah.
And
expertly executed offside trap from Arlington there, and the Woburn player was a full 8 yards offside.
So we're into the overtime, or what do they call this time, James? When the clock stops.
It's just
stoppage time.
Stoppage time.
Yeah, stoppage time. Lucy, look at her, a magician all day long. Tries to send it in, can't send it in, and there's Manstad with an attempt, but it's going to be out of bounds off Whoop. No, it's kept in, and now it's out of bounds. And so Arlington is looking pretty good here. He's got Austin's got Manstad and Horgan back. I mean, those are two kids who are difficult to beat. Julia Zaka stepped up beautifully, and Grace Kahlo was back there. I don't know why he hasn't dropped another player back, James. But
yeah, well, I think because they've really been controlling the ball as they are at the moment, or were, in the midfield, so that they haven't had to worry too much about any real threats in their own defensive third.
Well, I agree, but why wouldn't you drop another person back at this point? I don't know. There's Amelia Manstad fighting. Looks like she took it off the nose, but she's okay. Tries to play it into Sheriff. Sheriff wins it, and Insa Manstad dumps it into Sheriff, and there goes Sheriff on the hunt. Look at her fly. Look at number 19. Look at her hunt. What a hunt by Sheriff, and she causes the Woburn goalie to have to kick it out of bounds by the high pressure from Mackenzie Sheriff. I mean, it's the little things.
Here's what I might say, Ken, to your excellent point, and that is, sure, you could drop a player back, but they can't score from 40 yards out and further. So if you can keep the ball that far away from your own goal, and do that by, having enough players up forward to recapture possession of the ball or maintain it, then that can be just as effective as a defensive strategy, even with a goal lead as
Understood.
in the back.
Understood. That's why we have Mr. Milan here in the box explaining the soccer strategy. There's Morris who sends it in deep. Kohlberg tries to get ahead on it. Manstad does, and Manstad scores from Sophie Morris. It looks like he's calling it. Is he calling it back?
I think he called a handball.
He called a handball. No goal. No goal. There's and we've got an Arlington victory.
So what do you think, Ken? Do you have a player of the match, or?
Well, I think the player of the match is going to have to be I would have to say Amelia Brush because of that save on the penalty kick. Do you agree?
I couldn't agree more. She didn't have a lot to do, especially in the second half, but she did the one most important thing that happened in this game. And it is amazing, as we noted at the time, how a single play like that can really change the course and tone of a game. And I think it did.
So I agree, James. I think that that Amelia Brush would be the player of the game, but I think that particularly in the second half, the Arlington team saw a lot of extra effort from a lot of different bodies, and I think when you get past Amelia Brush, it's very difficult to single out any superstar for Arlington. I thought the team played beautifully once they came together in the second half.
I couldn't agree with you more. It really was very, very impressive. And I need to make a shout out to these freshmen. My goodness. They are out there on the field. They belong there. They are making their mark on what happens in the game. Very, very good stuff. And then, again, the seniors as well. I mean, I'm not accepting any sophomores and juniors who are out there as well. Absolutely, it was a team victory, no doubt about it. But my goodness, these freshmen are impressive.
They certainly are, and we've got, so from Arlington Community Media Inc., we're going to be signing off.
Pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, your final score, Arlington 2, Woburn 1. Thank you.
Pleasure to do the game with you, Ken.
James, thank you very much. Next up for Arlington, we're trying to piece together what the schedule is for the remainder of the year, but we're going to sign off from Arlington Community Media Inc. You can check the schedule for our Arlington home games, which are all broadcast here at ACMI, and the game schedule for the home games is also available online. So from Piercefield in Arlington with James Milan, we are signing off. Thank you, fans, and be sure to watch the broadcast on ACMI. Thank you.